Hi, good morning, everyone. Let's start the demo. So I hope everyone is a bit aware of like this topic is all about AWS DevSecOps. So we are trying to learn security as part of DevOps. So coming to my introduction, so myself, Sudhams, and having an experience of 11 plus in this IT domain. And recently from past 7 years and more than that as well, I was working in this containerization technology where my work experience transfer. So overall, I have 11 plus experience in different domains. Like I worked in hosting industry, I worked in telecom, AT&T, and then I worked in other areas like Plus Panel, C Panel. So these kind of projects where I worked in. So coming back to my certifications which I hold. So these are the certifications, two certifications which you see on top left and right. It is related to Kubernetes. So after this particular course completion, if you need any help on this particular two certifications, I will be happy to help you. That is one is CKA, Certified Kubernetes Administrator, and another one is Certified Kubernetes Security Specialist. So that's where we are. This course is all about. So how will you secure your Kubernetes application or a cluster or the components what we have? And then I'm holding the certificates and from Azure, AWS, and OpenStack Cloud. So all these certificates belongs to cloud services. Two certificates from Microsoft Azure and one certificate from AWS Solution Architect Associate and one certificate from OpenStack Administrator. Okay. Now this is all about my introduction. So all about my experience and what are the certificates I hold. So coming back to the point, before starting this, the traditional way of teaching this demo and all, I just want to understand few basics from anyone who knows about this particular topic. The first one is nothing but let's understand what is information technology. So the people who have not joined previous demo, who are new to this particular demo right now, can answer this. Do you have any idea about what is information technology? This is a running one which you might have heard about on daily basis. So what is information technology? If someone asks you, what you will say? Anyone? You're using on daily basis. It is not a new thing that you're learning actually. No? So information technology is all about the devices which are used to share the data or store the data or transfer the data is called as information technology. For example, we have mobile phones, okay, satellites, computers, hard disk, okay, pen drive, all this comes under information technology. Okay, so that is a technical term what they have given to this particular technology is what they are developing right now for information transfer, storing, transmission, whatever it is. So that comes under information technology. The next point is nothing but what is website. You might be using some websites, right? Like GoToMeeting as well. What is a website? Does anyone know answer to it? No one. So how come you are using Facebook website, WhatsApp, Gmail, and all? So what is a website?
It's like a GUI web page.
Then your
It's a
computer
collection
is
of
also having Gmail.
web pages.
Yeah, it's a combination of web pages to stay to transfer the information, right? For example, if you are starting a restaurant, I want to put my information. So how I can give my information of my project or company or organization what I'm starting with. So I'll give my details over the website. So website is a combination of web pages to serve the data. Okay, that is a website. Now, what is meant by operating system then? Why we use an operating system? It could be Android, iOS, Windows, Linux, Unix, mainframes, whatever it is. What is operating system?
The interaction between the user and the hardware.
Yeah.
So very
So it's like a mediator between human beings and the hardware because human beings cannot understand binary language and your hard disk doesn't understand your language, what you're speaking with or what you're trying to convey. So I want a mediator who will interact with me and transfer the data to the hardware and get the response from the hardware and give it to you. That particular medium is called as operating system. Okay. And then what is network? What is a network? You are using internet at your home. What is internet and what is network? For example, you need to talk to your relatives or your family members and all. What you will do in general? You will pick a mobile and you will dial the number and you will call them, right? So what is that? A network. So network which is helping you to talk to each other. So similar to that, network is a medium to connect devices, to share the data or to talk between each other, to share the data between them or to communicate between each other. All the devices will be connected together. So that connecting medium is called as network. Okay. Then what is internet? What you are using on daily basis? It is a mobile data or Wi-Fi, whatever it is. You are using internet, right? So what is meant by internet? Any guess from anyone? At least a guess. See, no need to be too fundamentals or like, let's say, too accurate, right? So just a basic is enough. Whatever you know, no need to worry about sentence formations and all. You know what is internet? So internet is all about connecting the network over the geographical locations. For example, you are sitting at your home. You are using some network. I am sitting at my home. Then how we are able to talk to each other? By using GoToMeeting, right? But if I need to open a GoToMeeting application, what I need to have? Internet. So without having internet, can I exchange the data or can I transfer the data across a geographical location? It's impossible, right? So that is all about network. Sorry, that is all about internet. So connecting the devices together is called as network. Connecting the networks together is called as internet. Okay, across the geographical locations. Okay. And the last one is nothing but what is cloud computing? The final one which I want to ask. What is cloud computing? So right now you want to learn about AWS cloud or Azure cloud or any other cloud, right? What is cloud computing, first of all? Does anyone know about it? You might have done some research, right, before coming to this course.
The resources which are not owned by any on-premises data center, that is owned by any third-party vendor like AWS or Microsoft Azure.
Okay, any simplified sentence that everybody can understand?
That should
Providing
not be
the
managed
resource,
by, yeah,
not manage actually.
yeah,
Providing the resource over the internet is called as cloud computing, right?
yeah, right.
That's all about cloud computing, which means that if I have internet connection, I can sit anywhere and I can access the resource. Okay, I no need to go to that physical location. For example, if I want to create a server, I no need to go to the data center, right? From here, I can sit at my home. I can open AWS Cloud or Azure Cloud or GCP Cloud or OpenStack Cloud, Alibaba Cloud, IBM Cloud, Oracle Cloud. I can open any one of the cloud, okay? And I can open the dashboard. I can create an account and then I can create a server. That's all. So that is called as cloud computing. So providing the IT resource or on-demand resource over the internet is called as cloud computing. Okay. So why I'm talking about this? Because these are fundamentals. Okay. So that's where our course is starting about. So forget about high level. So first you need to start your career from scratch. Let's say you are coming from non-IT background or maybe from IT background or from BSc computers, whatever it is, from different, what do you say, the technology is what you're coming with or non-technology as well. So even though if you're coming from non-IT industry, you need to learn about the basics. Even if you're from IT industry, sometimes we don't know the fundamentals. So that's why this course is all about. If you don't know anything about this, zero. So we'll be starting from there. Okay. So that's the reason to explain that particular scenario. I'm asking you these questions. Okay. So even though if you don't know these particular terms, you will be learning these particular things in this particular course. Okay. Just a way to understand. Now let's see what is meant by DevSecOps. It is a combination of development plus security plus operations. Together it is called as DevSecOps. You can say starting three characters of each and every word. But that is not that easy, right? DevOps, DevSecOps or DevOps is not a tool. It is a culture. Culture in the sense, if I want my development team and operations team to work together and to have a common platform, we need to pick the DevOps tools and we need to automate as well. Nothing should be manual, right? So that's the reason DevOps came into picture. So imagine that DevOps is not a tool; it is a culture where every organization is adopting in a software development life cycle. We are using this. So if you want to develop any software, we need to adopt this particular DevOps culture into this organization so that I can bring my development team and operations team together to use a common tools. If I don't use common tools, what will happen? Will be a lot of gap. Gap in the sense what development team will tell that everything is working fine. What are the tools they are using? They will tell that the code is working fine. When you're trying to deploy into your production or any other environment, your operations team will say that this code is not working fine. Then how will you fill this gap? In order to fill this particular gap, we have to use a common tool. And not only that, we have to automate. Nothing should be executed manually, right? So manual operation in the sense what it is a time consuming. Automation in the sense what within hours or within days we can complete the task. So that's a benefit of using DevOps culture. So now we are adding additional functionality to it. That is security. What is meant by security? Security could be hardware level, software level, operating system level, application level, data level. 5 levels what we have. In each and every level, we have to take care of security. So earlier we used to have a separate security team. What they used to do, once a development is done and once a deployment is done, then they used to do the testing manually. Once the security team has certified it, there's a testing team and security team. Once they certify it, then it will go to the production. Or even after going to the production also, we will try to do some security checks. But we don't want that thing to be done post-action. We want to do as part of this particular DevOps cycle itself. I want to automate the security checks what we are doing in the different levels. I want to implement this in the automation cycle itself. That's the reason DevSecOps came into picture. So now you are collaborating your development team, security team, and operations team together to use a common tools and automate the process. So that is all about DevSecOps in a simple way to understand. Okay. Now that is all about DevSecOps, what I've teached you right now. Now let us see what are the prerequisites. Okay, before I learn about AWS DevOps tools, not security I'm saying about AWS DevOps engineering. If I need to be like that or DevSecOps engineer, what are the tools that I have to learn? What is the prerequisite? Everybody has to learn about operating system. Then what operating system we'll be using? What are the types of operating systems we have? Unix, Linux, Windows, Mac. Generally, we use these kind of 4 operating systems for your computers or laptops, whatever it is. Okay. For a computers, we install either Unix operating system, Linux operating system, Windows operating system, or Mac OS operating system. Right? Then why we are using only Linux? Because Linux is more secure and it is easy to maintain servers. Okay, that's the reason why we are going for Linux operating system, and that too it is by default secure. We don't need to install any security tools. For example, in Windows, I have to install something like Avast or any other antivirus or something like that, and I need to protect my system or protect my operating system. In Linux, by default, it is secure. We don't need to configure any additional things. But if you still want to configure, we have something like firewall, okay, and we have multiple other things as well to secure our operating system. Okay, and not only that, many of the organizations they are running their applications on Linux operating system. So when many organizations are using, what is the benefit do I get? I will have more opportunities, okay, to survive in the IT industry. So that is the reason why we are picking here Linux operating system. But in the actual course, I will tell you what is Linux operating system, what is operating system first of all, why we are choosing Linux operating system and all. So in this course, we will be using Linux operating system. And in Linux, we have so many flavors. Generally, we use either Red Hat flavor or Debian flavor. We have other flavors as well. Most of the companies either they will use Debian flavor or Red Hat flavor. And we are using Debian flavor, that is Ubuntu operating system. And Ubuntu, again, we have 2 versions, means 2 types. One is desktop and one is server. Which one we have to use? If I want to learn the real-time projects or if I want to learn about the concepts, you have to use server edition, because in real-time projects we use only server edition. We don't use desktops. Desktops is only for home purpose or our user purpose, but it is not to run your production applications. Okay, if you want to run your production applications, we have to use server operating system like Windows Server, not Windows Desktop, like Windows 7, Windows 10, Windows 11. It is not like that. We have a Windows Server 2019, 2022, like that. So servers are different, desktops are different. So right now we are using Ubuntu Server operating system of Linux, and that too we are using specific version, that is 22. Okay, in Ubuntu we have to use even numbers. For example, we have Windows 7, 10, 11, right? Similar to that, Ubuntu is having some versions. Okay, so in Ubuntu we have to use even numbers like 20, 18, 16, 14, 22, like that. Or in the upcoming it will be 24. So we have to use only even numbers in Ubuntu Server Edition. And why we are going for Ubuntu operating system? Because first of all, it is open source, and uh, not only that, it is easy to learn. And many of the organizations are using Ubuntu operating system to run their open source tools or their enterprise applications as well. So because of that, we are learning about Ubuntu Server 22 version. And that too, it is a long-term support. Long-term support in the sense what? LTS. Long-term support. Long-term support in the sense, if you try to install Ubuntu operating system with some version like 22, until 10 years, you don't need to worry about upgrading your operating system. That is a advantage what we have with Ubuntu operating system. So that's the reason why we are using it. After learning that, we have to learn about shell scripting. Scripting is different, programming is different, software is different. Okay. So right now I'm not talking about programming like OOPS concepts. We are using only a scripting where we'll be learning about variables, operations like arithmetic operations or whatever it is, and then functions, and then loops, and then conditions. These are the 5 topics what we'll be learning in shell scripting. Okay. So when you're working with Linux operating system, we have to use shell scripting. When you're using Windows operating system, we have to learn PowerShell for scripting language. Under scripting language, we have to use PowerShell in Windows. But when you're working with Linux operating system, we have to use shell scripting. So these are the 2 things which are fundamentals for us in order to step into any cloud or any other DevOps tool or any other IT industry. So even if you're a developer or an operations team or from a security team, everybody has to use an operating system. So you need to know what is operating system, how to use it, how to manage it, what are the things that we can do on Linux operating system. So you have to learn all these things and how to automate your task as well by using scripting language. Okay. So these are the prerequisites for us as a DevSecOps engineer. Okay. Then after learning these particular tools, means like operating system and shell scripting, what are the things that we have to learn from AWS? So AWS is having services like IAM, EC2, VPC, EBS, EFS, S3 bucket, ELB, autoscaling group, SES and SMS, ECR, ECS, EKS, Lambda service, Route 53, CloudFront, certificate manager, backup, and then transfer family or data sync. Then we need to learn about CloudTrail, CloudWatch, then secrets manager, system manager, Cloud Shell, code commit, RDS, Elastic Cache, and then Prometheus. These are the 29 services what we'll be learning from AWS. I will not talk about what are these services one by one because it will take longer time to explain this. But these are the list of services what you are going to learn as part of this particular course from AWS. I'm talking about it doesn't come under security. A few services are security related, but it is a combination of DevSecOps. So if you want to be a DevSecOps engineer as per AWS cloud, you have to learn these particular services. Okay. So after learning these particular services, what is the next thing that we have to learn? That is Docker and Kubernetes. You might be hearing a lot in IT industry right now. People are looking for persons who knows about Docker and Kubernetes, whether you are a developer, whether you are an operations team, or whether you are from security. Because nowadays companies are running their applications on containers. So you need to work in the containerization technology. Earlier, what we used to do, in order to run an application, we used to use a bare metal server. After that, what happened? Virtual machines came into picture. Now we are running your virtual machines on, sorry, now we are running your applications on virtual machines. Now, what is the next technology right now? Containers. Now you are running your applications on containers. So that is a revolution what happened in running applications. Earlier, we used to run in bare metal server, like your physical laptop. After that, virtual machines came into picture. Then now containers. So that is a trending technology right now where we have to learn containerization tools. As part of that, I will be teaching Docker and Kubernetes. Okay, so these are the list of components what we'll be learning under Docker and Kubernetes. So everybody has to concentrate on this more a lot. I'm not talking that you should not learn AWS services. Alongside with that, you have to concentrate more on Docker and Kubernetes. Because every organization right now in interview, they're asking about Docker and Kubernetes. Okay, so almost to complete this particular Docker Kubernetes, it will take 1 month for me to complete this particular two topics. Okay, because the entire course is for 3 months. Okay, so I need 3 months to complete this entire topics what I'm listing you right now. First, this AWS services, and before that, Linux operating system like Ubuntu and shell scripting. After that, this 29 services. Then we need to learn about Docker and Kubernetes, and finally we have to enter into DevOps. Okay, first I will talk about DevOps, then I will talk about security. Okay, as part of DevOps, what are the tools that we have to learn which are not related to AWS? One is Jenkins. If you want to implement automation, end-to-end automation, as a developer, I'll be writing the code. Finally, I have to see my code has been deployed into my production servers or any environment. So you have to automate that, right? We should not run any manual steps. In those conditions, we have to use CI/CD tools, continuous integration and sorry, continuous integration and continuous delivery or deployment. As part of that, we have many tools in the market right now, but we are using Jenkins because Jenkins is a free open source CI/CD tool and it is widely used by many of the organizations. Okay, so that's the reason we are using Jenkins as part of this particular course under CI/CD. And then we need to learn about monitoring tools for Kubernetes. So we will be using monitoring tools like Prometheus and Grafana for Kubernetes. Okay, and then version controlling system Git. As part of version control system, we have two types: distributed version control system and centralized version control system. And in this course, we will be learning distributed version controlling system, that is Git. Because many of the organizations right now, as part of version controlling system, they are using Git. So we will be learning about Git. And under Git, we have many tools like GitHub, GitLab. Then we have code commit, Azure repos. There are many tools from any. We have cloud services and we have on-premises tools as well, like GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, okay, Travi. So we have these many tools right now. So we will be talking about Git and then we will be talking about GitHub. Okay, and I'll be using code commit as well from AWS. Now after that, we need to learn about configuration management tools, and that is Ansible. We have many tools under configuration management, like we have Ansible, Puppet, Chef, SaltStack, and we have many other tools. But we will be learning about Ansible. Why I'm using Ansible here? Because it is widely used, and not only that, it is easy to learn. Puppet and this Chef, SaltStack are right, bit complex to learn. Okay, if you're starting your career on this particular DevOps, you have to learn any one of the configuration management tool. As part of that, we will be learning Ansible, which is easy to manage and easy to configure. And that is managed by Red Hat. So that's the reason we can trust with the development as well. Okay. And then under infrastructure management, we'll be using Terraform. So nowadays, every organization is looking for a person who knows about Terraform. You have huge demand on this. If you learn Docker, Kubernetes, and Terraform, right, we have huge market, okay, of this particular tools. So Terraform comes under infrastructure as a code tools, okay. And then Sonar Cube. Sonar Cube is for static code analysis. Let's say, for example, as a developer, I'll be writing some Python code or Node.js code or .NET code or any, let's say, Python, Java, .NET, C language, C++, whatever it is. I'll be writing some code. After writing the code, I need to do some analysis or checks. So do we have any bugs in that code? Do we have any code smells? Do we have any duplicate codes? Do we have any vulnerabilities in that code? I need to identify them. In those conditions, we have to use Sonar Cube. Because even though I'm an experienced person, I will never come to know how to analyze the code what you have written. So in those conditions, we will use a Sonar Cube kind of tool to do some static code analysis. Okay, what is static code? Before the code got compiled, the raw code what you write is called a static code. Okay, so in order to do some particular testing on that particular static code, we use Sonar Cube. Okay, and finally, Python, we have to learn programming language, which is optional. So Visualpath will be providing you online video access for Python, but this is not part of the course. Okay, only this particular tool, this particular programming language, I'll not be discussing in the course. Okay, the rest of the tools what I've listed till now, everything we'll be discussing in this course. And now after completing this, now we have to come back to security tools. Apart from AWS services, what we have for security, the other tools what we are going to learn is Privy, Docker security with CIS, and then Kubebench, and then Kubelinter. So these are the other security tools what we'll be learning as part of DevSecOps. Apart from AWS services, in AWS services we'll be learning about IAM policies, okay, network filtering, firewalls, okay, web application firewalls, all these particular security services. Apart from AWS, we'll be learning some third-party tools. Those are like Privy, Docker security using CIS benchmarking, Kubebench, Kubelinter, and many more. Okay. And after this, what is our next goal? So let's say we have learned all these particular services what I've listed, whether it is AWS cloud or non-AWS cloud, whatever it is. So this is our roadmap. If you want to be a DevOps engineer or DevSecOps engineer, security tools are not written here, but if you want to be a DevOps engineer, so we have to be expert in any one of the tools from any other category. Okay. For example, if you want to learn about programming language, we have to learn any one of the programming language, like Python, which is very important. Okay, Go language could occupy this particular Python later in the upcoming years, but right now Python is a leading one in programming languages, which widely used. So, but this particular Python programming language, we are not discussing in this course. Okay, so we'll be providing you only video access. Apart from that, what are the things that we have to learn? Server administration. So what is the operating system we are learning under server administration? Linux. And that too, I'll be using Ubuntu operating system. Under servers, what we have to learn, if you want to deploy your website, we need a web server. So what are the web servers we'll be learning in this course? Apache and Nginx. Okay. Under caching, what are the service we'll be learning? Redis. Under databases, we have again two types, NoSQL database and SQL database. Under SQL database, we'll be learning about MySQL and PostgreSQL. Under NoSQL database, we'll be learning about DynamoDB. So these are the topics what I'll be covering under this category. And if you go to CI/CD category, what are the tools that we are learning right now in this course? Jenkins. So that particular topic is covered. So don't imagine that we have to learn each and every tool. It is impossible. For this to complete, right, you need at least 5 years to complete this. Okay, 5 to 10 years. But we need to pick any one of the tools from each and every category to understand the concept. Okay, to be a CI/CD expert, you can pick any one of the tools. Okay, like Jenkins, Travis CI, Bamboo, Circle CI, TeamCity, Code Pipelines, Google Cloud Build, what we have, Azure Pipelines. So we have many tools like that. Among them, we are using Jenkins under open source. Okay, and what is the cloud service we are learning right now? AWS. We have many cloud services, but we are using AWS right now. And what about monitoring and logging? We will be using Prometheus and Grafana for Kubernetes. That comes under monitoring. What about logging? We will be using ELK, Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana. But right now, instead of ELK, we will be using EFK, Elasticsearch, Fluentd, Kibana. Okay, so this particular things completes with the monitoring and logging. After that, we need to learn about infrastructure as a code. Under that, right now, configuration management. What is the tool I'll be covering in this course? Ansible. Under containers, I'll be talking about Docker. Under containers orchestration, I'll be talking about Kubernetes. Under infrastructure provisioning, I will be using Terraform. So you're covering each and every tool from each and every category, which comes under infrastructure as a code. After that, we need to learn about networking as well. what is IP address, what is IPv4, what is IPv6, okay, how to calculate IP addresses, what are the classes we have, what is router, what is switch, what is hub, what is CIDR, what is broadcast, what is gateway. So we need to learn all these things, okay. So then only you will be called as DevOps Engineer, okay. After learning all these particular tools, means any one of the tool from each and every category, okay. So then we need to learn the security tools what I've listed here as well, okay. Then you are called as DevSecOps Engineer under AWS Cloud. Okay. After that, these are the sample architectures what I will be giving you, and you have to implement them. So whenever I complete any topic, right, I'll be giving you some tasks, and you have to do it. Okay. Daily 1 hour class will be there, and after the session, a recording will be uploaded in the portal of Visualpath, and you can access the video and you can watch it. Okay. If you have any questions on that, you can ask me on the WhatsApp group. Anyway, WhatsApp group will be created. You can ping me on that WhatsApp group if you have any questions while you're practicing it. And I'll be happy to help you on the WhatsApp group itself. Instead of waiting for the next day, we can discuss in the group itself. So that other people will come to know what we are discussing. If he falls into the same issue, right, he can look into our troubleshooting part and he will resolve the issue. Okay. So that is the benefit of using WhatsApp group. If you have any issues, you can ping me on that WhatsApp group and we can discuss on that. So these are the architectures what I will be giving to you, and you have to implement them. Okay, after learning each and every service. So tasks will be given and you have to implement them. So these are the sample architectures. Now coming about what is your career right now, means what is your job role. So either your job role will be AWS Solution Architect Associate or Cloud DevSecOps Engineer. That is a role after learning this particular course. Okay. Now, these are my personal details like GitHub link, YouTube channel. If you want to watch my videos, okay, if you want to know what is my way of teaching, are you able to understand the topics, what I'm teaching and all. In the demo sessions, you will not understand, right, how I'm teaching and all. So I would recommend everybody to join the session whenever it is started. Okay, listen to 4 to 5 days or 2 to 3 days, sorry, not 4 to 5 days. Listen 2 to 3 days. If you are comfortable, if you are able to understand what I'm teaching and all, then take a decision on it. So Visualpath is never asking you to pay the fee in the starting itself. Okay, first listen to the classes. If you are comfortable, then only pay the fee. Okay, and join the course. That's how it is. Okay, we are too open. Everything is transparent. No need to hide anything here. Okay, so just come to the course, listen to the topic, and if you are able to understand my way of teaching, what are the examples I am giving, if you are able to understand the technology or not, then you can join the course. Okay, or else it is up to you. Okay, so these are my personal details. And what about live project? I'll tell you about that. Okay, after learning this particular course, I will be showing you live project, which means that we have our own application, which is running on Node, but you're not concerned about what kind of code they're using in the backend. So we have an application like k8sengineers.com. And this application is a live application right now. We have almost 1,000 plus users who are using this application to learn Docker and Kubernetes in depth. Okay, so this application I will show you how to deploy end-to-end on AWS Cloud with automation as well, CI/CD automation and everything, Terraform. Okay, so I'll be showing you everything how to automate this end-to-end application deployment. Development of the code will be done by someone else. When developer has given the code to me as a DevSecOps engineer, what are the things that I have to take care? So that application deployment I will show you live. We cannot share the code, but I can tell you how this application deployment will be done. Same thing you can add in your resume. Simple. No one will ask you, right? You can add this particular details in the resume. As simple as that. Okay. So this will help you a lot. And this is the project, and we have many applications like that. So Visualpath is having many applications like that. Visualpathedu.com. We have k8sengineers.com or visualpathtech.com. For example, visualpathtech.com. So we have these many applications. All these applications are developed by using Node. Okay, Node programming language in the backend. Okay, but we are not concerned about it. We need to know how to deploy Node application on your AWS cloud. So that automation I'll be teaching you in this course. There is a live project. Okay. So now I can take up the questions. Now it is a QA session. So if you have any questions, you can ask me. Before talking about that, before having a QA session, the course duration will be for 3 months and daily 1 hour. except Saturdays and Sundays. Saturday I might be taking a session if you are running out of syllabus. Okay, if you are not completing the session within the time, like 3 months and all, I'll be taking on Saturdays as well. Okay. So any questions, please? You can ask me now.
Hi, Sudhir. This is Abhishek.
Yeah. Hi.
I have a
Hi.
question. So, referring to the architecture, as you mentioned, that the pipeline reference
Yeah.
architecture, whatever the way you have shown on the AWS.
Yeah.
So, considering the practices of SCA, SAST, DAST, so and do you also show that vulnerability findings that the
Yes,
things?
obviously, because let's say as a security team, right, I have to detect the vulnerabilities as well, right? Whether it is a code vulnerability or image vulnerability or software vulnerability. Not only that, we have to find out the bugs as well, right? You might be
Agree.
using some code which is not allowed in the automation. So how will you identify them? So that is also
Yes.
needed as part of that.
Oh, I want to make sure because when we are using that security,
Yeah.
whether we are able to
Whenever
include
you
that
hear the
things.
term security, we need to cover that for sure.
So when you are building this end-to-end pipeline,
Yeah.
so does this particularly include this open source tools or something
Yeah, open
AWS
source.
related tools?
Uh,
Okay,
AWS service, actually, we are running these applications on AWS Cloud. Okay.
okay,
So I'll be showing you on AWS Cloud. You can just watch the video. Anyway, recording will be there, right? Maybe the code will
okay,
not be available to you to replicate the same thing, but I will show you another code to replicate the same thing. Okay.
okay. Do you gonna provide any problems such a manner you have mentioned,
Obviously,
right?
see
Yeah.
every
Okay.
topic, whatever I'm discussing, right? I will give you the task. I will show you what is troubleshooting, how to fix them. See, learning a tool, it is pretty easy. You can search in what YouTube channels, you can search other documents and all. But troubleshooting and integrating the service is the most challenging thing in
Yeah.
DevSecOps.
The main reason of me asking is suppose, for example, as a solution architect associate, if they give me a
Yes,
problem and I need to find a solution for that, including all these
exactly.
AWS
So
DevSecOps
what
practices.
is your job is like you're a solution architect, right? Let's say I'm a cloud architect right now. So I'll give you the architecture to you. Now you have to implement the solution.
Yes, please. That is what I'm trying to
That's how.
learn
Yeah,
and
that
get
is the
to know.
architectures what I've shown you. A sample architectures like this. Okay.
Okay. So one more question. So the way you have mentioned all the AWS services, so will you be
Yeah.
showing on the UI the services?
Everything I'll be showing in AWS account. I will show you how to create an AWS account on yourself itself. Everybody has to create their own AWS account, but it is not billable for until 1 year. It is free trial version it is, but limited. Means everything will have a quota, right? So if you cross the quota, billing will be applied. If you use within the quota, billing will not be applied. So I will tell you how to do that. Okay.
Okay. So whatever the services you have presented or your presentation, so that will be covered,
Yeah.
right? Whatever you said that.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank
obviously.
you.
See, whatever I mentioned in the PPTs and what are the topics I've discussed right now, everything, each and every tool have to discuss. I cannot skip any one of them. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
If you
Thank
want,
you
you
so
can take
much.
a screenshot as well. And finally,
Yeah,
you can
I
ask me whether I've covered this or not.
sure, definitely. If you do have anything like a course curriculum information, whatever you are going to teach, if you can provide this to
I think curriculum will be given
Visual.
Malati. I think Visualpath team has the curriculum. What I'm going to
Okay.
teach, right? There is a PDF file. You can download from the website as well. Okay.
Oh, okay, sure. Okay, let me reach them.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank
You
you.
can search with my
Thank you so
name.
much.
There will be a curriculum as well. You can download it for reference purpose as well. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah, every time. Any other questions, guys?
Yeah, hi Sudhir,
Hi,
myself.
Pradeep.
Yeah, yeah. Suman,
Yeah,
who is this? Yeah.
Yes, so are you going to cover Ansible also and how you are going to use it in cloud?
See, Ansible we will be using only for non-cloud. So we will be not using Boto 3 here. I'll be using Ansible to deploy the packages or to manage the servers, not to manage cloud. To manage the cloud, we are not using Ansible. We are using Terraform.
Okay.
Ansible is an outdated one to manage cloud. Okay. Earlier, when Terraform is not available, right? 4 years back or 5 years back, we used to use
Right.
Ansible with Boto, and it is too complex to maintain. Okay. That's the reason when Terraform came into picture, right? Now everybody started using Terraform.
Yes. All right.
I hope I answered your question. If not, please let me
Yes.
know.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
yeah,
Who's this?
yeah. Sudhir,
Dinesh?
Dinesh here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dinesh.
Actually, I was having 5 years of experience with middleware WebSphere administration. So how does this course
Okay.
will be help me for my career? I don't have any idea on the basic things as well. So what will
See,
be
listen,
the
I'll tell you. Yeah, I'll tell you in a simple word. Let's say you don't know even about IT. At least you know about middleware, right? Okay.
right,
You have some experience on this particular technology right now. So this course
like
is all about from scratch. I'll be showing you how to install operating system, how to interact with the operating system. Then I will be talking about cloud services, non-AWS cloud services, and then security, then finally project. So you are starting your career, assume like you're from scratch. Just now you came from your BTech or any BSc computers or whatever it is. You never worked in the IT industry. Then we have to start from scratch. Even one person in our training program doesn't know about what is Linux operating system. I have to start from there. Okay.
okay,
So I will just tell you how to practice, how to install operating system. Because in DevOps, right, or DevSecOps, no one will help you in the organization. You have to do it on your own. Okay.
okay,
You cannot ask your colleagues, right, how to install operating system. You have to know how to install operating system. Without teaching that, can I start AWS? I can start actually. That will suppress your knowledge. You will never sustain in the IT industry if you don't know the basics. Okay. For time being, you'll survive. For longer period, you cannot survive. That is actual fact, which many people of doesn't know about it. They'll think that okay, some organizations are teaching AWS, that is fine for me, that is enough for me and all. But they will not understand at that time. Okay. But when you try to search for the job and you're working in the IT industry, when people are having upper hand than you in the basics, that will suppress, that will affect you personally, mentally as well. So that's the reason why let us don't fall into that situation. Let us be strong in the basics. Okay, if you are strong in basics, right, you can switch from any cloud. Today you might be working on AWS, tomorrow you might be shifting to Azure as per your organization requirement. You cannot tell that, right? I will not learn Azure and all. You have to learn Azure at that time. Then what you will
correct.
do, this basics will help you a lot to switch from one cloud to another cloud. Okay.
Yes,
That's the reason for me it is taking 3 months, to be frank, actually. Or else I could have completed in 1.5 months or 2 months.
yeah, great. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, welcome. And if you want to know how I'm teaching and all, right, you can watch this particular YouTube channel. Let me show you that. It is Sudhi DevOps. Okay, you can search for the YouTube channel. I've uploaded some sample videos like this. I'll show you right away. Not to let's promote something and all. Just want to know what to tell, like how I'm teaching and all, right? Before looking for the class, you can search here itself. Sudhir DevOps. So this is my YouTube channel. Okay. And then here I have plenty of videos. Let's say sample videos on Docker, Kubernetes, and many other Terraform. Okay, Azure DevOps. Okay, you can see some sample videos. I'm not uploaded the entire course, but sample videos to tell how I teach on a particular topic. So you can understand from here. GitOps, okay, all these things. Watch these videos and you'll get to know how I'm teaching. Whether you are able to understand my way of teaching or not. Because everybody's way of teaching may not be sync with the you people, right? So everybody have a different mindset. So that's the reason I'm asking you to first look into this particular video and understand the way of teaching. Okay, then you can take a decision.
For this learning this course, you should be like a developer or operations, or else middleware also.
So this will work for middleware as well, right? See, middleware is like you are working before below the GUI and above the database, right? Something like a middleware.
Like WebSphere, WebLogic, JBoss.
Yeah. So now you are upgrading your career. See, this middleware doesn't help you for a longer time period, right? To survive in the IT industry. Now you need to switch your career. From middleware, you have to shift to the cloud as a DevSecOps engineer. So you need to put some more effort. Means you are switching the career. Till now you worked in middleware. Now you need to learn a different technology like cloud. What is cloud? What is Linux operating system? Okay, and then have you worked in any Linux operating system till now?
Yeah, I used to.
Used to, right? Middleware applications you will be deploying on some operating system, right? So without having operating system, applications will not run or softwares. So
Correct.
this operating system we have to learn, and we need to learn the tools as well. So how I will be using this Linux operating system to run my applications or tools. That is the reason why we are learning that first. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
You are learning some more things. Till now, you are working on middleware. Now we are working on cloud, DevOps, DevSecOps, many things, right? You have multiple opportunities right now
Okay.
on your resume.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sudhir, may I know about yourself? Mentor professionally, are you an architect or are you a solution engineer? Please, sorry, I
I'm
missed
working as a cloud
detail.
architect right now. Yeah, I'm working as a cloud architect. So I started my career in 2013 actually. I used to work as a Linux administrator, earlier Linux and Windows both. It is a simple, like a small scale industry. That's where I started my career actually in Linux and Windows operating system. That is a hosting industry. You know, like GoDaddy, Big Rocks, right?
Got you.
Yeah, similar kind of industry, but it is a private one. And after that, I switched my career to Plus panel, Plus can see panel. That is also like one of the panel to run your websites. Okay, in a VPN concept and all. So after that, I more there I worked in more of Linux operating system. Okay, as an administrator. So until 2016, I worked as a Linux administrator. Okay. After that, in 2016, when I came back to Hyderabad, right? So I started working on DevOps. Okay, DevOps and Kubernetes as well. That's where I started my Kubernetes in 2016. Okay, from there till now, I'm working on Kubernetes. So Kubernetes at that time, it is almost 1.3, I guess. Now it is 1.28. So we have these many changes, what they have done. Many development. I've seen a lot of rapid growth in the Kubernetes. So from 2016, I worked on more on DevOps and DevSecOps, security as well.
Thank you.
And in the recent times, I'm working more on Docker and Kubernetes, like containerization technologies with automation.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome.
Hi, Sudhir.
Hi.
This is
Yeah.
Swapna.
Hi, Subha.
So I'm coming from testing background. I wanted to switch
Okay.
to DevOps. So when I work in as well.
Sorry, last sentence I have not understood.
So I wanted to know if this switching from testing to DevOps works for me.
See, yeah, I'll tell you in a simple word for everyone. See, first of all, in testing, so why you want to learn this? Because there is no rapid growth in your testing rate. Okay. So that's where you want to switch to another technology so that you can survive in IT industry for more salary and to sustain for longer period. That's the main goal. See, everybody is working for a salary. Okay. If you're working only on testing rate, that will not help you. So now you need to switch your career from testing to any other technology. So what is the right options that you have right now? Either development or DevOps or DevSecOps or only operations. Now, which is suitable for you? Development, if you need to work, you need to learn any programming language and you have to be strong enough in logical thinking. So let's say I'm not interested in programming language right now. So that is not my interest. I don't want to take too much headache on my plate to understand this logical thinking, writing a program and all. So then I will keep it aside. Now, what are other options we have? Without learning any programming, can I switch my career? The first and foremost option what you have is cloud. Okay. For that, you don't need to learn any programming language. Okay. So without learning a programming language, you can switch your career to the cloud. Now, in the cloud, what are the options we have? We have AWS, Azure, GCP, and many more. Right? Now, why we are going for only AWS? Because 35% of the market right now, the companies are using AWS cloud. When 35% market share is on AWS, then what is the option? We have more opportunities. When people are widely using it, we'll have better opportunities, right? That's the reason why we are learning AWS. And then why not only DevOps? Why we have to learn DevOps? Learning only AWS will not help you because every organization right now has adopted DevOps into their organization. So I need to learn DevOps tools as well. That's the reason why we are learning all these things to be a DevSecOps engineer. So for you, it is a right path, obviously, right? Right now you stick your career only to testing, right? So outside, if you want to switch your company for more salary and all, you need to learn something else. If I need to recruit, for example, I have a company right now, I need to recruit you. Then what I will say, if your career is only testing, right? Will I pick you? Or let's say there is another person who is learning testing and he is expert in the AWS cloud as well. Then what I will do, I'm getting additional benefit if I recruit you. So I will go for that person, right, instead of you. That's how it is. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank
Yeah. Welcome. So understood or any confusion still?
No, from my end. Sudhir, um,
Yeah.
automating tool using automating tool like Jenkins. So we need to write some automation code, right? So what language you will be using?
We are not using any programming language here, not even Groovy. We will be using DSL languages. So DSL is all about domain specific language like HCL, HashiCorp configuration language for Terraform. For Ansible, we'll be writing a YAML files. Okay. For AWS, we'll be writing IAM JSON files. Okay. For Jenkins, we'll be writing DSL files, pipeline. All these are domain specific languages. Those are not as programming languages. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't need to worry about programming. So nothing will be there in the programming. But here in this course, we are providing optional access who are getting this particular course, right? We are giving additional access to the Python. If you want to learn, you can learn. It's up to you. But that is not mandate.
Okay.
Yeah. But definitely you have to learn scripting language. That is needed. Why? Because we are working on Linux operating system, right? In Linux operating system, we have to write some particular automation, okay, on that operating system. At that time, we have to use scripting language. That's all.
Right.
So any other questions from anyone?
Sudhir, what is the difference between SRE and this DevOps role?
SRE is more of, let's say, I will tell you, we have a server and we deployed all our applications and tools. Now, if something goes wrong, how my server behaves, I want to see that. I cannot wait for the situation, right? You understood? I cannot wait for the situation. I want to create a situation right now. So the person who creates a situation like that, let's say, for example, you have 10 servers. I want to bring down one node and I want to see how my application will behave. Doing that particular task is called as SRE, Site Reliability Engineer. Okay, what is DevOps Engineer? Automating everything is called as DevOps Engineer. Two different roles there.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Yeah. So I'll create a situation and then I will see how the system is behaving right now or how application is behaving. That's a job role of Site Reliability Engineer. So we have that course as well. If someone is interested, you can join that as well. Not by me, by someone else. So that's all for this particular demo, guys. So when this course will start and all, Malti will be implementing you or Visualpath team will be implementing you. From there, we'll be starting this particular course. Okay. Join for 1 or 2 days. Anyway, it is free of cost, right? Then you can listen and you can understand my way of teaching. Okay. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sudhir. Nice meeting you.